Let's moving on now to the special focus this evening on the continuing reactions to Home Minister Amit Shah's assurance in Tamil Nadu yesterday that southern states will not lose out in the delimitation process. After sharp reactions from the DMK left and Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy, today Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah in a statement said that Home Minister Shah's comments, quote-unquote, misleading and a deliberate attempt to undermine southern states. He put out a set of numbers showing how the absolute number of seats in the Lok Sabha would reduce for the southern states. The question, though, is what are the facts in the delimitation debate, and is the debate itself premature without concrete clarity on when it will be carried out? It's a process that is constitutionally more complicated than just a mere political exchange of statements, and one that has had a long history. For one, as per the Constitution, it can happen only after a census after 2026. We have a charged political panel from both sides of the divide lined up this evening, but first, let's listen in to the political reactions that came in today.
तमिलनाडु के मुख्यमंत्री और उनके सुपुत्र दोनों तमिलनाडु जनता का ध्यान भटकाने के लिए कुछ मुद्दे खड़े कर रहे हैं। मोदी जी ने निश्चित रूप से आपके सभी हितों की रक्षा कर डिलिमिटेशन में आपका एक भी सीट प्रोरेटा कम न हो और जो बढ़ोतरी होगी इसमें उचित हिस्सा दक्षिण भारत के राज्यों को भी मिलेगा।
I will not, because already the Prime Minister Mr. Modi, when he opened the new parliament, he said it's going to increase. It was like 2 years back. And in 2023, I think Mr. Amit Shah, he also spoke that it will definitely affect the South Indian states. But now they are, since our leader, Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, has raised up the issue, they are changing the stand. We want them to confirm it. Tamil Nadu represents around in 543 seats, we represent around 39. Which is around 7.2%. Our only request here, a demand here is, if they are going to raise the numbers in the north states of India, Tamil Nadu will also request, we also demand an increase in the numbers.
मेरा फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है, पॉपुलेशन सेंसस कहाँ है? क्यों मोदी सरकार पॉपुलेशन सेंसस नहीं करता है? ये मिस्टर अमित शाह जवाब देना पड़ेगा। क्या पर्पस है डिलिमिटेशन अभी एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम? क्या पर्पस है? अमित शाह बोल रहा है नहीं ये साउथ नंबर नहीं कम होगा. How he knows? Then why you conduct this delimitation? There is genuine fear in the minds of Tamil Nadu and several other states.
As I mentioned, a strong political panel lined up this evening, starting with Surbhi Hodigare of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Syed Hafizullah of the DMK. We'll also have Bhavya Narasimhamurthy of the Congress and Jyotsna Tirunageri of the TDP join us in a bit. And the cephalogist, political analyst amongst the politicians on the panel today, Dr. Sandeep Shastri. Thank you all for joining us. My first question to you, Surbhi Hodigare. The DMK, Congress and the left, led by Chief Ministers of Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Karnataka, have raised serious questions over the Home Minister's assurance. The argument they are putting forth is that with the facts as they are at the moment, there is no basis to say that southern states will not lose out. Respond.
Thank you for the question, Viragav. I think that it's an incredibly important discussion we are having today, and I'm grateful to the Home Minister for making the statement that he did. I say this with full responsibility because what the DMK and other parties that are calling delimitation an injustice to the South are trying to do is weaponize delimitation. They are weaponizing delimitation to further their political narrative of a North-South divide. All right, let's listen to the concerns. Absolutely, the population of India has grown. Where we froze off last time was in 1971 when there was a population of the entire country at 54.8 crore. Today, as per the population projection report, we don't have the 2021 census yet, but when we do, meanwhile, there is the population projection report by the Ministry of Home Affairs and Family Planning. Says that our population today is 141 crore. Where is 54? Where is 141? The same argument, by the way, is what the Congress in Karnataka is speaking about, talking about having multiple corporations within Bengaluru, because the population of Bengaluru has grown asymmetrically, and administration, what should have been 1:20 lakh population, has for a Lok Sabha seat, has significantly grown. For example, Bengaluru North seat is at a 31.3 lakh population for one Lok Sabha MP. So we have a real problem to deal with. Let's accept that first and foremost. The second thing over here, the Home Minister has very clearly stated that there is going to be no loss of seats. The loss of seats happened, to my DMK friend would remember, in 1962 when there was 1967, 1962 when there was a decrease from 41 to 39. Having said that, the concerns of the southern states have been brought to the forefront, and the Home Minister has very rightly said we are only going to increase the number of seats, and it is going to be a pro rata basis. There will be no injustice done. I want to ask the Congress and the DMK, have you not been saying jitni abadi utni haq? Does that apply only in the case where it is politically, sensitive?
Let me get Syed Hafiz. Okay, you've raised your question. You've raised your question.
One person, one vote. Are you going against the basic tenet of democracy of adult suffrage, one person, one vote? For your political...
Okay, go ahead, Hafizullah.
I hope I'll not be interrupted. The BJP spokesperson is contradicting herself from the first and the last part of the statement. On one end, she says that there is not going to be increase or decreasing the seat. And then she says that the concept of one vote, one person. Then if the concept of one vote, one person applies or it is brought into effect, then naturally Tamil Nadu will, or the southern states will lose their seat. This is the confusion that the BJP is having. They have no clarity on how they are going to address this issue. That is one. History of delimitation has given a bitter lesson to the people of Tamil Nadu by losing 2 seats. It happened 40, 45 years back or 50 years back. That is because we maintained an effective population control method that was suggested by the Union Government of India. Rather than rewarding a state for taking up an initiative which was proposed by the Union Government, now 50 years down the line, we are here facing a punishment for implementing a policy promoted by the Union Government of India, which none of the other states did. Now, second, our concern is legitimate. Our expectation is legitimate. Simple. We want the demographic dynamics of all the state to remain as it is. And coming to the Home Minister's statement, this is the most unreliable government we have ever seen. This is the most unreliable cabinet we have seen. Even in the parliament, they don't tell facts. The RTA is not functioning. You want to believe the Home Minister's statement, which was just given in a public meeting. Let them give it in the writing. Let the stand of the BJP come in black and white, saying this proportionate. Our demand is simple. There should be proportionate increase in seats across all states. By example, a state of UP with 80 seats, if they get 40 increase to 120, then Tamil Nadu with 39 should get 60. This is the formula that we are expecting. Number of what? No, that is what I'm telling. Why BJP is confused. On one hand, they talk about pro rata, and when they turn to the far end of the speech, they say one vote, one person is against the principle. Why are you confused? This confusion is what making us anxious. Thank you.
Syed, you made your point emphatically. Let me, before I get to the BJP again on this, Jyotsna Tirunageri, as an NDA ally, but a southern party, is this a matter of concern? Because we have heard statements from the TDP as well about population control. Is this a matter of concern, A? B, do you believe that it is time to have this debate concretely, given that there still seems to be no clarity over when this process will even play out? As constitutionally, it would have to happen only after a census after 2026. Where does the TDP stand on this issue?
See, TDP from day one onwards, we have been saying that the population issue that we have raised is a more larger issue. I would say it time and again, because it's a more larger issue. It's just not limited to delimitation. It's just not limited to, the seats in the parliament or things like that. We have spoken about the economic development of our state, where we are standing, and what about the future of our younger generation. All those things that we spoke about when we spoke about the population control. And also the effects of it that have had an impact on the state of Andhra Pradesh. That was our concern. Now, coming to the present topic, Veera, I know I don't, in fact, I would say I'm a little bit surprised by the statements of the DMK spokesperson. Not that I'm an NDA ally, but I have certain concerns on it. I'll tell you why. Because this issue was raised by the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. On what basis has he raised this issue? Stating that we are going to be losing. That is the reason the Honorable Home Minister has given a clear indication, clear statement saying that, boss, you're not losing anything. There is an assurance from us to the Tamilians and also all the South Indians that we are not losing anything in the number of seats. Everything would be properly taken care of. Because you raised a question, we have given an answer. Now, coming back to the question of DMK, the question was raised by them because people asked questions on their government failure in the state of Tamil Nadu. So you see the circle there, Veera? It's nothing to do with delimitation. It's nothing to do with population. It's nothing to do with the development. It's nothing to do with anything. It's just because questions were raised on their inefficiency and on the misdeeds of that particular government. They in fact come back and say that no, we are losing seats.
Okay.
So our government at the center has given a clear indication that nobody is losing seats. And yes, again, in your introduction of my party and me, you have given very clearly, Veera, saying that though NDA ally, we are a southern state, yes, and also a very strong state which always has stood for the rights of southern part of India. We have already stood for. We always have stood for that. So definitely, if it requires, we have to be very vocal in our concerns in front of the central government. We would do that again because we are a part of it.
All right. Okay. You're saying that you will take your concerns.
If there are
You're saying you will take the matter up with the center, but there is no point creating a ruckus. All three of you have made your points. Let me come to you, Bhavya Narasimha.
If there are any concerns, let me put it very clearly again.
If there are any concerns. You are not saying there are concerns as yet. You will wait for things to play out. And if there are concerns, you will take that up. All right. Got it. Let me get to Bhavya Narasimha Murthy. Ma'am, while Chief Minister Siddaramaiah seems to be taking a stand, the Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnav has asked Rahul Gandhi if he will take a stand on delimitation, being an MP from Uttar Pradesh. Is this going to be a delicate issue for the Congress while your strong southern allies may take it aggressively?
So first of all, whether it is the Home Minister Amit Shah or the BJP spokesperson here or the NDA alliance spokesperson here, they need to understand a very basic math concept. If it is pro rata, that means the seats will be distributed proportionally, right? The population of states in the north and south, they have increased definitely, but not at the same rate. The percentage of increase in Uttar Pradesh is totally different by the increase of population. It's totally different from the percentage increase in population of Karnataka, right? So either they can do two things. First option, because the population has doubled, just for example, just for the case. So 28 seats in Karnataka has to be doubled to 56. And Uttar Pradesh, 80 seats has to be doubled to 160. Then the concept of one vote, one person will be failed. So what Amit Shah says and what the spokesperson is saying here is totally contradictory. You can't delimit based on pro rata or proportionality because the state's increase in population is not at the same rate. Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Jharkhand, the population increase in population rate is very high compared to southern states. You cannot reward a state for not controlling its population by punishing the states which has controlled its population and concentrated on development projects. This is just basic mathematics and a basic concept of one vote, one person. The BJP government, they need to have a clarity.
I'm sorry, Bhavya. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm going to ask you. You made a very strong point, and that's the point that the DMK has made as well, and that point is taken. But I had a sharp, specific question to you.
They don't have a clarity. BJP has zero clarity.
No. I have a specific question to you about whether the Congress can take a united stand on language and delimitation, given the fact that for a national party, it may be far more difficult than a regional party to take a stand on this issue. Quick answer to that question before I get to Sandeep Shastri.
When you said something about language, what was the question on language? On language, Congress has always
No,
been
no, no.
clear.
I asked you.
Diversity, every language is important. Diversity matters. There is no one nation, one language concept here.
All right. Okay.
Congress is
Okay,
very
you're
clear on
making a
that
point.
when it comes to language.
Let me get
But-
to Sandeep Shastri. As far as the delimitation debate is concerned, Sandeep Shastri, multiple points of view here. It is a constitutionally complicated exercise. First of all, there needs to be a census. There was supposed to be a census in 2021, which has gotten delayed. We don't have it. There has to be a census, some argue, after 2026, and then the delimitation process has to go through. So there is no clarity about it. Is it possible to have a substantive debate at this stage? Or should we be having a substantive debate at this stage? Or this is purely about political exchange and electoral needs of certain political parties?
Dheeraj, the debate is natural and it's going to happen. There is no question of doubt that this will happen after 2026, the whole delimitation exercise. But then there are 2 points which need to be considered. Number one, if you are going to keep the same number of Lok Sabha seats of 543 and redistribute those 543 seats based on the projection of population that is happening, if you keep the number of seats the same and redistribute the entire seats, the data shows that South India and East India would lose around 25 seats. And those seats would go to Northern India. The losing states would be Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, and Telangana. And the seats which would be, the states which would be gaining are Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh. Now, there are those who say, no, the number of Lok Sabha seats will not remain the same. The number of Lok Sabha seats may be increased. The new Lok Sabha can accommodate more people. So even if you extrapolate and say number of Lok Sabha seats will be increased to 888, then there is a critical question, Veera. There is no question of doubt that when you increase the Lok Sabha seats to 888, every state seats will go up. Yes, but then the critical question is, will it go up as per the proportion of the population, or will it go up as per the proportion of the present distribution of seats? What do I mean? A quick point. If it goes up as per the present proportion of seats, a state like Uttar Pradesh will have 130 out of 888 seats. A state like Karnataka will have 50 seats. A state like Tamil Nadu will have 70 seats. Yes, it will go up from where it is. But if you are going to make it on the basis of a population based on 2026 census projections, what will happen then? Uttar Pradesh will get around 145 seats and not 130. Karnataka will not get 50 seats, but 42. Tamil Nadu will not get 70 seats, but 50. So Tamil Nadu will go up by 20. Karnataka will go up by 8. But Karnataka's share in the All India Lok Sabha seats, which is now 5%, will go down to 4%. Tamil Nadu's share will go down from its present. So the critical point is, seats may increase, all state seats may increase because the number of Lok Sabha seats are increasing. That is the logic. But what about the percentage share of every state? Now, by pro rata, do you mean in proportion to what is now? Or do you mean pro rata in proportion to what will be the population percentage?
That's
now,
right.
This is the
so,
critical
Surabhi,
debate.
I'm just coming. Absolutely, Sandeep Shastri. You've raised the most important point in this. I have the last 4 minutes left of this discussion. So very, very short answers from all my political guests here. Surabhi, the fact is that there is no clarity on how this is going to go about. Why make an assurance at this stage is the question that's being raised by the opposition. Very quick response on why there is no clarity. Should there be first clarity on how we're going to go about it from the BJP and the centre before an assurance?
I appreciate Sandeep Shastri's comments. In fact, this debate it revolves around precisely that question on what pro rata definition is. The problem that the BJP has been highlighting, and the Home Minister had to come and step in and say, is that the DMK, its minister, its chief minister, as well as the allies in the Indie alliance here in Karnataka and elsewhere, have gone on to fearmonger put in this fear and say our seats are going to reduce, we're going to be taken away our share. The problem here is not a Home Minister had to come and clarify, look, you know what, we're coming up with a delimitation commission, here's the terms of reference. Here's the data that we're going to use. None of the DMK folks know that data. On what basis are you saying that this is going to be a loss? On what basis? Put out a white paper. Put out a white paper for the people to see. On what basis are you saying that the seats are going to reduce? You said that on the debate as well.
Saeed Hafiz?
May I just
Saeed
finish
Hafiz,
one?
the point is that the Home Minister's comment...
There is a lack of information and deliberate disinformation from the Congress and the DMK, which is why the Home Minister had to come and clarify. Stop breaking us on this north-south. Stop it.
Okay, Saeed Hafiz, very quickly, it's purely because of fear-mongering by the DMK, says the BJP, raising an issue for electoral reasons that the Home Minister had to respond. Very quickly, 30 seconds to you to respond.
I think she should lecture and
source of your data?
Madam, Veer Raghav, this is how they
Mute her. Can you mute her?
This is an example of how BJP will snatch our time and our rights.
I just asked an additional question. You've been fear-mongering all these
Please
One
mute
minute,
her.
Surbi, I've given you your 30 seconds. Saeed Hafiz, please
Mute
just
her,
finish your point.
otherwise.
Bhavya, you don't have
this is how BJP snatches democracy from the southern state, not
my
letting
God.
the DMK speak in their own time. Second point, see, there is already a method. These methodologies have come on public domain by psephologists. There are 2 or 3 scenarios. If one of the scenario, in almost all the scenarios that has come out, logically the southern states are going to lose. If it is not going to go, if they're not going to lose, then it is on the part of the government to come on black and white and say, no, you're not going
That
to
is
lose.
what
The
the
senior
Home Minister has
psychologists are
done.
here.
Okay.
Madam, have some manners.
Jyotsna
madam.
Tirunagari, 30 seconds to you. Quick response and I get the last word from Bhavya. Very quickly.
No. This is unfair on the part of the BJP to take the time of the other panelists. This is exactly what BJP is doing.
Jyotsna Tirunagari, 30 seconds.
Veera, I'll tell you one. That was my opening statement. Nothing has been finalized now. Nothing. In fact, you know, if we have to go for it, we have to first have the census. That's what we all have been talking about. Okay. There are no procedural things, SOPs set, nothing set. And now there are some parties who are coming up and saying that no, we'll lose seats. So that's, I think the BJP spokespersons put it very clearly, saying that fear mongering. Don't do that. Let's wait. Let's see what's happening. If we
Bhavya,
have
your last 30 seconds.
We all have to talk about
I'm
it.
into the last 30 seconds of the show. Bhavya, quickly.
If only the Home Minister or the spokespersons speaking for him had any clarity on what basis they would do this delimitation, this particular confusion would not be here. And the fear mongering, no, it is the fear that exists, and it's your job to release white paper, not ours.
Okay.
The delimitation committee is being set up by you. You need to give us a clarity. You need to tell us exactly what you're going to do.
I think all of you have had the fair share of time. You know, the delimitation of time on this panel has been very fair, except to Sandeep Shastri. I think the only person who has suffered is Sandeep Shastri. He's had lesser time than the rest of the politicians here. I'm sorry, Sandeep Shastri. This delimitation exercise in terms of time was unfair to you, but fair to the politicians here on the panel. Thanks to all of you for joining us this evening on the Southern View. We'll keep this conversation going. News and updates continue right here on NDTV.